Our second training stance is the horse stance. Horse stance is just about in every traditional martial art that's out there, every Korean martial art that's out there. In Kempo, the biggest reason we do this stance is for what we call upper body isolation. We can focus on all the correct mechanics of what we're trying to accomplish with our hands or arms while isolating out the lower body. Some schools use it a lot. Some schools no longer use it. They do everything from their platform for performance, so to speak, or the neutral bow, their fighting stances. The argument can go both ways. Right? I prefer to use the horse stance just because, again, we are a traditional martial art. There's aspects of the horse stance that are used in our fighting platform, and again, it does allow you to focus on what the arm should be doing without what the lower body should be doing. Even though if you're using the horse stance properly, you're actually developing the lower body mechanics or positioning or structure for your neutral bow. So for a horse stance, a bunch of different ways to get out there. As you progress in the system, you'll normally find it automatically. Right? One of the ways I originally learned how to do the horse stance was to flare the feet out at 45, flare the feet out at 45, and then point the toes straight ahead. And that was basically the width of your horse stance. Right? And then your hands would be up. You'd want... And again, this is a Kempo system, so we're looking for a lot of functionality in everything we do. Right? As we pull our hands back, we want that elbow to be, at least that forearm, to be parallel to the floor. We don't want it down here, we don't want it up here, we want it pretty much parallel to the floor, because that sets up the rocking motion for our back elbow. We want that fist on the hip, because that fist on the hip is going to translate to what we call a thrusting point of reference. And that thrusting point of reference is just a modified version of here. Right? It's still tight to the body, so if I started here and I started to seek depth, width, and rotation, or I'm sorry, seek height, depth, and width, I'd still be working from this particular point. Okay? So again, after a while you get to the point where you can step out to your horse stance, you'll find your natural width between your feet, and you'll come up, and again, we're sitting on our waist. We have a nice, relaxed, neutral posture. And remember that neutral, because we're going to go into that here in just a little bit. But a nice, neutral, balanced posture. And our back is straight, our shoulders are down, they're not hunched up to our shoulders, and we're very relaxed. Again, if we start at a tension stance, and as we step out, we're constantly building mechanics as we progress through this. So as I step out, it's not 1, 2, it's 1. And notice how the hands lift. They don't swing up and back. We're not creating extra motion. Even as a beginner, we're learning points of origin. How to move from where we are to where we want to go with as little wasted motion as possible. So as I step out, there's our horse stance. And again, there's that, the elbows are pinched just a little bit, a little slightly pinched there. Right? And we'll go more into the depth a little bit later on about the horse stances when we work on the neutral bow, and I'll explain some more things and how they relate to each other. So again, from the side, good posture, and we step out with our left, and hands come up. Right? And remember, what we're looking for is when we step out, that we want that upper body isolation as we work various basics, and we don't have to focus on what's going down below our waist. Horse stance.